Once upon a time, in a magical place where the sky was painted in shades of violet and the stars sparkled like diamonds, there was a valley called Glimmerdown Valley. In this valley lived a little unicorn whose coat was as white as pearls and whose manner rippled in pastel pinks and blues. Her name was Tilly. Tilly was the most curious and lovely unicorn in the valley. But that evening, Tilly had a spot of bother. She was very sleepy, yawning widely, yarf. And her eyes were heavy, but she simply could not get comfortable. Tilly tossed and turned in her bed. She plumped up her pillow. No good. She pulled up her duvet, then kicked it off again. No good. Oh, bother, sighed Tilly. This bed isn't comfortable at all. It feels like there are pebbles in it. I am a unicorn princess, I should be sleeping in the softest, fluffiest place in the world. Tilly looked out of her window. Up in the sky, right next to Mr. Moon, she saw giant, white clouds floating by. They looked just like candyfloss. Her eyes lit up. That's it, said Tilly. Clouds. They are the pillows of the sky. I am certain they are the most comfortable place to sleep. I must go and find myself the fluffiest cloud. Tilly tapped her magical hooves on the floor. Clip, clop, clip. Suddenly, her silver wings unfurled from her back. Yes, Tilly was a special flying unicorn. She glided out of her window and rose up into the night sky. The wind gently brushed through her manner. Up she went, higher and higher, until she reached the clouds. First stop, the rain cloud. The first cloud Tilly saw was a huge, grey, and very plump-looking cloud. His name was Puddles. Gosh, said Tilly. Look at that. It looks like a giant grey cushion. It must be terribly soft. Tilly eagerly hopped onto Puddles. Boing! But it wasn't what she expected. As soon as she landed, Tilly's fur began to get wet. Drip, drop, drip. Ooh, shivered Tilly. This cloud is soggy. It feels like I am trying to sleep in a cold bath. A little water droplet popped its head out of the cloud. Hello, Tilly, said the droplet. I am Puddles. I am a rain cloud. I am full of water, so I am a bit too damp for sleeping, I'm afraid. Tilly sniffled. Yes, you are right, Puddles. Thank you, but I am looking for somewhere dry. Tilly flapped her wings and flew away, shaking the water from her coat. Second stop, the feather cloud. Tilly flew a bit higher. There, at the very top of the sky, were thin, white clouds that looked like delicate lace. These were called wispy clouds. Aha, said Tilly. Look at those. They look as light as a feather. That is definitely the softness I am looking for. Tilly gently glided towards the most elegant wispy cloud. She tried to lie down slowly. But guess what happened? As soon as Tilly lay on the cloud, whoosh! She fell right through it. These clouds were so thin and light that they couldn't even hold Tilly. They were just like mist. And it was very chilly up there. Tilly's teeth chattered. Chatter, chatter. Whirly the wind whispered as he blew past, mind out, Tilly. Wispy clouds are made of ice crystals. They are for decorating the sky, not for sleeping. I see, said Tilly sadly. They look beautiful, whirly, but they aren't cozy at all. Third stop, the storm cloud. Tilly was starting to feel a bit hopeless. Should I go back to the ground, she wondered. But then, in the distance, she saw a gigantic, dark cloud that rumbled like a drum. Maybe I need a big, solid cloud, she thought. She got closer, but the cloud was making so much noise. Boom! Crash! Bang! There were flashes of lightning inside. This was Rumble, the storm cloud. The cloud was so loud that Tilly covered her ears with her hooves. It is impossible to sleep here, shouted Tilly. It is too noisy and shaky. Rumble the cloud boomed. Sorry about that, Tilly. My party is a bit rowdy tonight. Tilly flew away in a fright. A chat with Mr. Moon. Tilly was now very, very tired. Her wings felt heavy, and her eyes were closing. She was all alone in the middle of the sky. Neither soggy Puddles, nor thin Wispy, nor noisy Rumble was right for her. Just then, Mr. Moon, lighting up the sky with a silver glow, smiled at Tilly. Little Tilly, said Mr. Moon, his voice as soothing as a lullaby. Why are you wandering the sky at this hour? Shouldn't you be fast asleep? Tilly sighed. Yes, Mr. Moon. But I was looking for the most comfortable, fluffiest cloud for myself. My bed felt too hard. But none of the clouds are what I imagined. One is wet, one is cold, and one is noisy. Mr. Moon chuckled. Oh, Tilly. Sometimes things far away look better than they are. But true comfort is in the place that belongs to you, where you are safe. Look down. Tilly looked down at Glimmerdown Valley. In the darkness, she saw the warm, orange light glowing from her own bedroom window. The room looked so safe. There was no wind, no rain, no noise. I suppose you are right, Mr. Moon, said Tilly. I miss my home. Off you go then, said Mr. Moon. I shall make a moonbeam slide for you. The journey home. Mr. Moon created a bright, silver path of light stretching from the sky right down to Tilly's window. Tilly stepped onto the light and slid down as if she were on a playground slide. Whee! Slowly and gently, she floated through her open window and landed, plop, right in the middle of her bed. Tilly looked around. Her bed was dry and toasty warm. She laid her head on her pillow. It wasn't thin like Wispy, it supported her head softly. She pulled up her duvet. It wasn't wet like Puddles, it hugged her like a warm cuddle. And her room. It wasn't noisy like Rumble. There was only the quiet sound of the clock on the wall, tick, tock, tick, tock. Tilly took a deep breath. Her room smelled of lavender and biscuits. I can't believe it, whispered Tilly. I searched the whole sky all night, but the most comfortable, fluffiest, most perfect cloud in the world was right here all along. It was my bed. Tilly snuggled deep into her pillow. She didn't call her bed hard anymore. She called it my safe castle. She waved to Mr. Moon and the little star, Twinkle, winking through the window. Good night, Mr. Moon. Good night, clouds. You are better off up there, I love it here. Tilly closed her eyes. And that night, she was the unicorn who had the deepest, sweetest, and most colorful dreams in all of Glimmerdown Valley. She dreamt of jumping on candyfloss clouds, but when she woke up, she was happy to be in her own warm bed. And Tilly never complained about her bed again. Because she knew that adventures were splendid, but at the end of the day, coming home was the best thing of all. The end.